Hello. Thank you. My name is Shinichi. In the next 18 minutes, I'm going to talk about my life, which is 56 years, and it's very challenging. But I hope you can join my journey. My first question is, what is life? What is life? And my answer to this, what is life, is this. Life is time. Life is time. The next question is, how can you visualize life? And I make my best with one diagram, and that's a year that you experience and how much percent you spend on. So this rectangular is your life. You were born with the white space of this rectangular. And it's a precious gift that you received from your parents. From here, I'm going to talk about how I have spent my time over the last 56 years. I was at high school, and I have spent time on family, schools, friends, personal things, like you are doing. At high school, I learned several things. The first thing I learned at high school was actually my school song. The first description here, you see, the future of Japan resides on your shoulders. That's a phrase from my high school song. 日本の未来を担い立つ. That's a phrase, I'm sorry in Japanese, but that's a phrase from my high school song, which I still remember. The second point is from a calligraphy on the classroom front wall. You may remember, at your classroom, there was some calligraphy. Sometimes it says, trust your friends. Sometimes, honesty is the king. But in my case, I still remember this. What should I do now? And now is important. Lastly, but not the least, the third item shaped my life. There was oil crisis, and I realized how important energy is for my life and for the planet. Coincidentally, a cartoon program was broadcasted, and that's Future Boy Conan. Maybe some of you remember it. It's a story that the boy whose name Conan saved the world. But I was not influenced by Conan himself. His girlfriend, Lana, I fell in love with her. I liked her. But actually, Lana's grandpa was an energy scientist in the story, and his invention helped the entire human beings. And with that, I decided to study nuclear engineering at college. So I went to college. In college days, I studied nuclear engineering as planned 4 years, and I graduated. Upon graduation, I started my job and I joined first to the government. METI was the energy agency that I joined. At METI, luckily, I was exposed to very large-scale projects, kind of national projects, not only in energy, but also in IT or international development or international collaborations. Another thing I learned at METI was the second notion that, where there is a will, there's a way. I got sponsorship by the government to study abroad. I was not confident to get such sponsorship, but some of my friends advised me and encouraged me with this statement. And I applied, and luckily, I got sponsorship. That is, where there is a will, there's a way. My friend told me, Shinichi, you have to first have your will. Otherwise, there's no way. Will comes first if you want to do something. The last point is actually very important. There was one evening during my years at METI when I couldn't stop my tears. That's the evening when my assignment was changed from one to another. My last evening of one assignment, I wept in my bedroom, and I couldn't stop it. I was not sad at all. Neither I was happy. I didn't understand why I was weeping, and I didn't understand why I couldn't stop it. I still don't understand, but maybe it was due to such a deep commitment to the assignment and deep dedication that I was paying to the work I was doing. Once you are deep in your commitment and assignment, you are beyond being sad or being happy, but you just get emotional and weep, and you can't stop the tears. But with those ups and downs, I actually left METI sometime around age 30. I was asked by many, why are you leaving METI? So I answered to those questions. The first answer is that I started to ask, am I contributing to the society? That goes back to my original intention, why I joined METI, because I wanted to contribute to the society. But at age 30, after working for the government for 8 years, I started to ask, am I really contributing to the society by being a bureaucrat? And unfortunately, the answer was no. So I decided, this is not my place. I had 2-year experience studying abroad, which makes me to put myself on the global environment. And I wanted to live in a global environment. So I joined McKinsey & Company, which is a global consulting firm. But actually, before making such a decision, I hesitated a lot. But as this third point describes, my attitude was, when I make hesitation, when I hesitate, when in doubt, take a step forward rather than keeping waiting. When in hesitation, people tend to wait. That's okay, it's your life. But in my case, I make it a rule to step forward when I hesitate on something. And then I joined McKinsey. In McKinsey, I learned many things. But I learned about professionalism. What is professionalism? There are so many definitions. But my definition is this first one. Always think about, am I generating value right now, all the moment? And it's interesting that this is similar to what I learned at high school. Am I doing, what should I do now? That was a question on the school, front wall. And at McKinsey, I was learning, again, similar thing. Another thing I learned at McKinsey was global leadership. It was a global firm, and leadership was expected. But I want to tell you that leadership is not something around elbowing others and putting yourself up front. Leadership is a flip side of followership. In order for you to be a leader, you need to have a followership. And to be a global leader, you have to have a followership from global people. Global being the very diversified. You have to have ability to interact with a variety of people in a productive way and gain respect and have them follow you. That's how you nurture your global leadership. And I learned that at McKinsey. Having said that, again, I left McKinsey at age around 49. I was in McKinsey for 18 years. Again, why? This time, a different question pops up to my mind. When I left Betty, it was, am I contributing to the society was a question I asked myself at age 30. At 49, I asked, am I growing? The answer was not so much. So I thought it's time for me to move on. And it gave me a very precious, even privileged opportunity to think about, so who am I? I've been doing work for more than 25 years when I was 49. I was in the government, first nuclear engineer, and bureaucrats, and business consultants. Who am I? That was a question to me. That's easy, What is my identity? Luckily, I could define it, and that's technology and global management. Those two separate topics, the intersection of those topics are where I want to be, and I want to put myself. And then I chose to join NTT, my third job place, a very traditional Japanese company. And I'm doing cybersecurity work here. Obviously, it's a very global topic. In cyberspace, there's no national border. And it's a technology topic. So that completely matches with my professional identity, and I'm very happy. I'm learning, in particular, the second point, in order to make the world cyber secure, everybody has to collaborate. It's not industry only. It's not the government only. It's not academia only. Everybody has to collaborate. And with my personal background as an engineer and have worked with the government in the global consulting firm, helped me to do this work. Going forward, this dotted line, I don't know how it will evolve. And I even don't know how old, I would be when I die. My life expectancy, I don't know. But with this journey, I hope you can also imagine your version of this diagram. Depending on how old you are, you have drawn your diagram, maybe 25% of your life, maybe 30%, maybe 40%. But the important thing is the remaining part is white. You can draw your life at your completely free distinction. It's quite up to you. So my concluding message for you today is that, first, follow your passion. As I said, my life is going somewhere, going the other way. It's not pre-planned at all. I didn't plan to go to the government and then consulting firm and traditional company, Japanese company when I was high school student. I didn't have any plan. Just follow the passion. But the second thing is also important. That is, shape your career. In other words, don't adapt. Once you are in the society, you are asked to take this job. You are, supposed to, adapt yourself to the environment. And that's okay, and that's okay to some extent. That's necessary. But at the end of the day, you are the owner of your career, and you are the owner of your life. Nobody else can shape your life. It's only you can do. So ultimately, please shape your career. Don't adapt. And of course, your life is limited, of course, but your potential is infinite. Your opportunity is infinite. And that's probably how to maximize the values of your life and your time. And that's a gift that you gain from your parents. How to maximize the value of such life. That's rectangular white space is how you can reward back to your parents. Today is Mother's Day. That's how you can reward to your mother. What do you think about this? Thank you very much.